Durk, why did you create Lifeguard, and what are the benefits when people take it?
Well, the reason I created Lifeguard is that the RDAs are basically designed to prevent classical deficiency diseases. For example, if you take the RDA of vitamin C, you're very unlikely to get scurvy. The thing is, scurvy isn't the only function of vitamin C preventing scurvy. Vitamin C is involved in scores of other biochemical reactions in your body. And simply having enough of a particular vitamin or other essential nutrient to prevent the classical deficiency disease, for example, having enough niacin to prevent pellagra, doesn't mean you're getting an optimal amount of niacin. It means that you don't get pellagra. But there's a lot of other functions of niacin in your body than preventing pellagra. A scientist by the name of Packer came up with the concept of your body needs to use the most essential nutrients for the most essential purposes first. For example, preventing scurvy. That doesn't mean you got the optimum amount of vitamin C for the other functions. And so we've got quite high levels of many of the nutrients, not all of them. For example, there's no iron in there at all. Unless you have a blood test diagnosed iron deficiency, you don't want to take additional iron, because iron is a very powerful free radical generating catalyst. We've got antioxidants in there, but you don't want too much and you don't want too little. And the problem with having too much is that some free radicals are necessary in your body. You need a certain amount of nitric oxide radical in the proper places at the proper time for the proper uses. And incidentally, to give you an idea how big the difference is between the optimal amount and the RDA amount, if you were to do experiments on chimpanzees or gorillas or any other primate like monkeys, and you only had the FDA's RDA of vitamin C in it per kilogram, you'd be doing something illegal under federal animal rules.
Do me a favor, explain what RDA is for people
The
that don't know.
RDA is the recommended daily amount.
Thank you. Okay.
For example, for humans, the recommended daily amount used to be 60 milligrams. I think they've increased it a little bit, but not by very much. On the other hand, if you're doing experiments with primates, you have to have a minimum of 800 milligrams per kilogram of vitamin C in there, or you're breaking the law by harming your experimental animals with a vitamin C deficiency. So that's why there's more than the RDA amounts of the nutrients in there. And I've read an awful lot of scientific papers on how much of a particular nutrient causes what sort of effects, and that's what the Life Shield is all about. Now, we've also got a One Per Meal Life Shield, and the reason for that, there's a lot of people who don't want to take 3 capsules 3 times a day. I mean, so that's a lot of capsules.
And let's explain. So there's a difference between the Lifeguard and the Life Shield.
Yeah. The difference between that is that the ratios are somewhat different when you're having a lower dose. A lot of people don't want to take 3 capsules 3 times a day, so we've got a 1 capsule 3 times per day product.
And that's the Lifeguard.
Lifeguard.
And that's
Okay.
the Lifeguard. Okay,
Okay.
that's what we call the One Per Meal Lifeguard.
Same nutrients, same ingredients in each one.
Right,
correct?
but there's a somewhat different ratio because the total amounts are different.
Gotcha.
And so the optimum ratio is a bit different.
Gotcha.
And the One Per Meal Lifeguard is particularly convenient if you're going to be traveling. If you're going to be schlepping a suitcase through a lot of airports,
Yeah.
you want as little weight as
That's
possible.
right. That's
and
right.
1 capsule per meal weighs less than 3.
And for the folks listening, and they may be thinking, why? What are the benefits I'm going to get by taking each one of these?
Well, what it is, you're going to be getting adequate amounts of essential nutrients so that your body doesn't have to engage in triads. That is, decide, well, okay, I'm going to put enough nutrients into this one thing, but I may not have enough for another, but this one most important immediate thing gets enough to prevent that. Your body is capable of shunting nutrients to where they're most urgently needed. However, that means some things that have longer bad effects if you don't have enough nutrients. They may get shortchanged.
Gotcha.
Because there's a matter of urgency. If something's going to cause you to drop dead in the next month, like scurvy, you've got to make sure you get enough vitamin C that doesn't happen.
Yeah. Are there a lot of people dropping a scurvy nowadays?
No, very, very few
so.
people, because most people are getting plenty to prevent that. Even the RDA, the FDA's RDA, is more than enough to prevent scurvy.
And folks, keep listening, because in a little bit you can go back and check on Durk's vitamin C that he created, and he'll tell you more about why vitamin C is very good for you. So right now, you heard the difference between Life Shield, you heard the difference between Lifeguard. Go and order them.